Getting married is a transition. Getting married during COVID-19 is a double transition. Getting married is a transition from being on your own with the family you grew up, friends that you have, to getting together with another person that grew up in a different home, different way of thinking, different way of doing things. On top of that, the whole world is currently going through a transition. In one end, you might feel the world is in it with you. Everyone out there needs to figure out how to manage these times. However, it's not clear what part of it is the transition of marriage and what part of it is the transition that the world is going through for COVID-19. And eventually, hopefully soon, you'll have to set up some structure and differentiate between the two transitions so that you can slowly settle and have some sort of routine. I would like to share with you 3 ideas that can help you now during these transitioning times and in many years to come in Mitzvah Hashem. These ideas are important for every relationship, and many people only figure it out 10, 15 years into the marriage. And if you can learn it now, you will have the benefits of growing. Now, these ideas are, number 1, open communication. Number 2 is effective listening. And the third one we'll call alone time. Having some time alone by yourself. Now, the first 2, open communication and effective listening, they go together. While A is practicing open communication, B is supposed to do effective listening. And then vice versa. When B does open communication, A does the effective listening. So I'll start with number 3, alone time, because in order to discuss open communication and effective listening, we first need to discuss alone time. Baruch Hashem, you're happily married and you're enjoying each other's company, which is great. Now, you see, in a normal world, you're busy with the chasana, the sheva brachas, there's traveling, celebrating, families, at least 7 days with being busy and doing exciting things. And after that, things calm down. You go to kollel, you go to work, you go shopping. So during the day, you're out, and then you come back. And you have some sort of schedule during the day. And then when you come home, you get to share about your day and have time to bond. However, now you might have just gotten married, if you had a small wedding, some sort of sheva brachas maybe, and there's nothing much going on. And it might be a hard time. You might feel bad about all of this, for having this whatever type of wedding you had, not having the wedding that you planned on having. And it's possible you're pretending that it doesn't bother you, which is nice, but you might want to share that later while we are practicing open communication, that this is something that does bother you. But for now, when you're together for so many hours, it can be a bit of a challenge. So, discussing alone time, marriages benefits from everybody having their alone time. Either they pursue their own interests or just to relax. It provides opportunities to do things that you like to do and your spouse might not want to do it. Because alone time can actually help to keep a relationship fresh and less stressful. You have time that you're together and then you have alone time. Now, how much of time together and alone time, that varies from couple to couple. What's most important is that you agree how much time you want together and apart. And when handled correctly, each partner feels they're getting their fair share. Now, it doesn't really matter the amount of hours, minutes. If the proportion is what you both want, and each partner has different perspectives, and you'll discuss it. However, the amount of time together and apart can be sometimes, if not worked out, can be a source of conflict, but that's why we're going to discuss open communication and effective listening. So we'll go to the open communication. The most popular myth about communication is that since you're talking to your partner and you're discussing a lot of things, you're automatically communicating. Well, yes, it is a form of communication, but you're not really communicating about the important stuff. That can be hard to share. What you want, the way you feel. Now, being open means talking about things you may have never talked about. That's being vulnerable and honest with your partner. Now, again, that doesn't mean you have to start talking about everything in your past, but it does mean that you can honestly share your thoughts and feelings, like we discussed before, how you feel about the wedding, the Sheva Brachos. Now, you can only do it if your partner is ready to do the next part, the effective listening, to listen without saying a comment. And without saying a comment that may make the other one feel dumb or stupid. For example, if A says, I'm nervous about everything that's going on, and the other one says, well, what's the big deal? You're silly, you're mature, it's nothing. That's basically dismissing your partner, dismissing what the other person feels. Do you think they're going to try to share again? Probably not. So we need open communication when the partner is ready to do effective listening. And talking about feelings, it's okay to feel. That doesn't mean right or wrong. It's just to recognize how you feel about it. Now let's go to the effective listening. What's the definition of effective listening? The ability to actively understand information provided by the speaker. And then you show interest on the topic that they're talking. It can also include feedback, providing some feedback, such as asking questions about what they're saying. And a few things are very important. First, you have to stop and listen. You can't be busy with other things. That's number one. And number two, you might have to force yourself to hear because you might not be in the mood. So if you're not in the mood, either you could say, let's not do it now, we'll do it later, and you have to do it later. You can't just push it off. Or by yourself, you could think to yourself, I'm not in the mood of listening to this now, but I will force myself to listen. And listen, effective listening. And be open and honest with your partner, how you feel and what you want. And very important is to stay focused. Don't go off, stay there. It might be painful because they're bringing up things, vulnerable things they don't like. And it might be something about the spouse. So just be there and listen. At a different time, it'll be your turn to do the open communication. So what are some of the challenges you have or you feel during these confused times? Are you ready to share it with your spouse? Are you ready to listen to your spouse in a way that they will listen to you, that they will feel listened? Are you ready to listen to them? Try it out. You don't have to start with the heavy things. You can start small and see how it goes. It takes practice, and this is a lifetime of practice. Hashem should help us all. We should learn and grow. You can go and watch recordings of interesting programs that we had the past few Sundays at menachembernfeld.com. Sign up to get updates and information on the upcoming show in Mitzvah Hashem. You should be zoiche to build a bayis neman b'Yisrael, a binyan adei ad l'shem il seferes.